Welcome, welcome, welcome to the ill blur. Matic shooby-doo-doo, oh yeah. Welcome back to Ill Blur Matt. It's your boy Ill Blur Matt, and today's new movie review is one of the black films that I'm going to do a review on. And what movie am I talking about? ATL. So let's get right into this. So ATL is a movie that's placed in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where it takes place. But we're introduced to the main character. So the first couple main characters, I guess Uncle George is not necessarily the main character. He's in it, but he's not the main character. I say he's like the secondary character. But we're introduced to Rashad, which is played by T.I. We're introduced to Ant, which is played by Evan Ross, Diana Ross's son. So let's get right into it. So we're introduced to these three characters, and we learn a little bit about them. You know what I'm saying? We learn about Rashad, you know, him being who he is. He's the older brother. Ant is the little brother. He's, you know, hard-headed, but he has a good heart from what we see. And we're also introduced to Uncle George. Uncle George is like the carefree uncle, cares about his nephews, but he's a bit carefree, right? So also we're introduced to another character. So we're introduced to some of the characters at the start. Some of the other characters are introduced towards the other parts of the movie. I really like that aspect of it. We're also introduced to Esquire, another good friend of Rashad's. He is the intelligent friend that goes to a prep school. He doesn't, you know, live out there in the suburbs, but he's managed a way to get into a prep school. Very interesting dynamics. Next, we're introduced to the next couple friends of Rashad. We're introduced to pretty much Teddy. Teddy is a guy that makes grills. That's what he's doing for a living. Not necessarily for a living, but maybe for a job for the time being, I should say. And also, we're introduced to Brooklyn. Brooklyn is pretty much a New Yorker that lives in ATL. He's kind of the comical relief. Him and Teddy together are kind of like the comical relief of the film. But let's get right into it. So the next characters that we're introduced to at the Waffle House that pretty much Rashad and his crew come across pretty much is Nunu and Star and Vita. Nunu is pretty much the friend out of them that has a thing for Rashad. So it's kind of a bit of a romance. I'm not against romance films. I do like some stuff with romance in it. But we're also introduced to Starter and V, which are two sisters, are twin sisters that are known for stealing. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, right? But also, the other thing about this film, we're introduced to some problems in the film. The first problem, I should say, is pretty much with Rashad's younger brother, Ant. Ant has become fascinated in making fast money and wanting to become a hustler in the hood. And how do we know that? Ant comes across a classmate of his that is at the swimming pool the day that he sees him do something very strange, and he sees that he has some money, and, you know, he wants to make money. They work for their Uncle George as a janitorial business. That is one thing that we are presented with in the film. So that is their job for the time being. So I was like, wow, you know, Brooklyn also had a job too. I forgot to mention as well. But pretty much Ant wanted to make fast money, but we see Ant taking an extreme L. Like he literally, he was making money. He was being known in school for it and everything, but that came with a price too, to some degree. The street life wasn't for Ant, you know what I'm saying? He ends up working for Big Boy's character. And Big Boy, he's like this very like flashy, like hustler. He has this hustler lingo. I was like, Big Boy got this down packed. This was the role for Big Boy, you know what I'm saying? And we see that the young man that Ant knew from school introduced him to his older cousin. And Ant didn't realize that his cousin wasn't no joke, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, him not being able to sell the drug that he was trying to sell didn't work out for Ant. Ant eventually got caught up in it. But let's talk about the next problem that we see in the film. pretty much Rashad and Nunu, their relationship starts to spawn. You know what I'm saying? She starts to catch feelings for him. They end up going together to Big Booty Judy's party. That sounds funny, right? And they end up becoming an item, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, they start to take the relationship. They become more than just friends. And we see that, you know, Nunu's not who she says she is. And the thing is, Esquire finds out shockingly. Esquire is the friend that finds out first. And we see with Esquire finding out, Nunu like, look, don't tell Rashad. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, how could you do this? He said, you got a Picasso hanging up in your house. You know, he's just like, Esquire is just like, why would you not want to be like that? And we also realize that Nunu's dad does not want his name tied to being from the hood. It seems like he kind of was a sellout. She told Esquire that, like, oh, my daddy's a sellout pretty much. I was like, dang. Like, she just threw her daddy under the bus, y'all. And we see that. Also, what I like about this film are the soundtracks. They all are ATL soundtracks. That really worked with the film. You know, I was like, okay, we got the Georgia. We got the Get Up, You Gotta Get Something. All these different, like, ATL sounds for the soundtracks were really nicely laid into the film. I really like that. Even Big Rube's spoken word towards the end. But let's get back into the next part of this. And we see these conflicts kind of come crossing, you know what I'm saying? We see eventually Rashad finds out that, you know, Nunu lied to him, you know what I'm saying? And he wants nothing to do with her. He's also fed up with Esquire because he had been gone for quite a bit after that situation. And we can understand maybe Esquire didn't really know how to tell Rashad that your girl, she faking. She not really from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why he felt that type of way. We can see the frustrations of them when they broke up, where she's in bed crying. Rashad, he's an artist. You know what I'm saying? He's drawing and he's just like, his mind, he doesn't know what to do. He throws the paper away. And, you know, that's how it is with breakups. Sometimes, you know, you go through things and, you know, with her, she was emotional. Rashad was just angry a little bit. He even checked Esquire. He said, so, oh, that's, you know, so you knew, you know what I'm saying? You knew her dad was that. Also, we see the downside of being a hustler, where pretty much, Ant ends up getting, you know, pretty much robbed on the corner trying to hustle to make money. And Big Boy spots him. His character as the drug dealer spots him, or the hustler. And literally, he like, bang. He was like, and you could see he was starting, you know, I was like, oh boy. And we see Ant trying to get away. And literally, Rashad finds out where his brother's at. So he goes driving around ATL to figure out where his brother's at. And we see him stepping in to defend his brother from Big Boy as the hustler in the movie. And what happens? Someone accidentally gets shot. So this gets to the end of the movie, literally, when we see the price of him trying to be a hustler. We see Ant in the hospital shot because he did not want to listen to his brother. We also see Uncle George telling his brother, like, yo, you know, your younger brother gonna do what he want to do. And that's what I say, he's kind of the carefree uncle. He doesn't seem like he cares about his nephews, but we see that. But also, I would like to say the ending of this film worked out really well. I thought this movie flowed all the way through. The ending was really well. We saw all the outcomes of the characters, even his brother Ant. Ant changed his ways. I did like that character development. Brooklyn eventually becomes a manager. Esquire ends up going to a prep, you know what I'm saying, university. And we also see pretty much the other character literally, you know, ends up graduating school despite his difficulties with school and stuff. So I thought ATL was a really well thought of movie. This was a story by Antoine Fisher. This was loosely based on Dallas Austin and T-Boss. A lot of you guys probably going to be shocked, but Nunu was loosely based on T-Boss from TLC. But I gotta give this film an A+. This is one of my favorite films. I can go back, watch this back to back. Also, Rashad ended up becoming an artist because that was his dream. That was the other thing that I did like. His other dream that he had wasn't just skating, and they didn't win the skating championship. I forgot to mention that. But this is my review on it. Have you guys seen the movie ATL? You tell me in the comments. It's your boy Blurmatic, guys. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking. And have you enjoyed this review? And what are your thoughts on the movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? You tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm out. Blurmatic, and the saga continues. Oh, yeah.